I read an article in the New York Times today that said everything in Israel that Israel could do in Gaza is done. You're just going to hurt civilians. Now, I was with an elite unit many times I've been, and I saw how much more there is to do against Hamas. So the question is, how do you feel about Israel leaving, based upon October 7th, leaving Gaza now?
I think that would be a terrible idea, because we've just started and we've already reversed back years of terrorist organizations, and we've killed a lot of terrorists, but it's not over yet. We've barely done half, and the second we leave, they'll take over again and they'll be back to point A. I think what we should do, we should end the war, but we should end it by ending of Hamas, and then after that we could think about leaving. But for now, there's still so much more to do.
So in my country, people say that you don't care about the Palestinian civilians. You're indiscriminate. You have families. You're going into the army. People in the army. When people say that Jewish soldiers target civilians, what's your response?
I don't think that the understanding of the situation worldwide is deep enough. They don't actually get what's going on in there. And I think that first of all, it's not that the soldiers are not the one who make the important decisions about this. It's more of ministry.
Generals,
yeah. But I feel it's easy to say you can leave or stay, but it's so much more complicated, because if you stay, there are so many decisions to make, and how are you going to handle the situation. And if you leave, you make a really hard decision, because you're not done there. Not Hamas is still in the ministry over there, but our soldiers are dying every day. So it's a really complicated decision that you cannot say there are only two options you need to pick, because it's more than.
And we don't want all the falling soldiers that already fall. We don't want it to be for nothing. They already they fight for what they want, what they want. The families, they don't want okay, now they're dying, so we need to go out. It's not so
it's not
in
simple.
or out.
I think I'll add on to that what you said about we don't care about killing Palestinians. If you look at the statistics, we've actually killed much less Palestinians. The ratio is much lower to any other war America has done. If you look at Afghanistan or Iraq, the ratio is 4-to-1 or 10-to-1. In Israel, it's 2-to-1. So the ratio is extremely low. It's just what you hear is from the Hamas and from the Gaza ministry, and it's all fake.
I think the answer is very simple, and they might just not like it, and it's fact. It's unheard of in any other military in the world or in any other conflict in the world that the IDF warns the Palestinians before they're going to bomb a humanitarian area. Where is that ever heard of in any other war, conflict, or country that's happened in the history of the war? Or
so how do you feel about that you're preparing for the army? In a word, what do you feel?
I feel proud.
Proud.
Representing.
That's the word.
It's very scary to think of, but I think it's never been more important to join the army. We could have just joined right now, but we decided to prepare for it another year, and we want to go
in this
try rebuilding. We're doing everything we can to make our time more important and more valuable.
So to American people, teenagers and young adults, what do you want to say to them?
Support us. It's that simple. It's there's not much you could do for America, but if you support us online, that's all we need. That's really all we need. That's all we can ask for.
And I think that we need to remember that we're not only fighting the Jewish people living in Israel. We're not only fighting for them. We're fighting for the Jewish people living in
all the world,
the whole diaspora and in the whole world, and it's much bigger than that.
So, thank you, and follow me on Instagram, Dr. Eric Mandel.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So follow